The Las Vegas Raiders have signed wide receiver Jalen Nailor to a 3-year, $35 million deal. And coming up here on today's show, I'm going to tell every single person that's watching this video why Jaylen Naylor is a sneaky good signing for the Las Vegas Raiders and this offense. But this is why I want you to hit that subscribe button. We're live right now on this channel. We got over almost 8,000 people here watching our live show. We're going to get over 100,000 people today at the Raiders Report, so make sure you're pulled up. When breaking news happens, I'm going to tell you about it. But if you don't know why Jalen Nailor is a really good fit in a Klint Kubiak offense and why he's a really good receiver for a young quarterback like Fernando Mendoza and why ultimately it makes a lot of sense for Las Vegas to go this route, this is why I want you to be able to watch this video, because last season, in 17 games played, he saw 53 targets. He did only have 29 catches, but he also only had one drop. Very reliable receiver. Now, I don't want you to look at like the catch percentage. I also want y'all to understand how bad the quarterback play was last season for the Minnesota Vikings. 444 yards, 15.3 yards per catch. He's somebody that can stretch the field for you a little bit, which is obviously what the Raiders need. Because he's a tough player, when I was talking to our Vikings host here at Chat Sports, his name is Patrick Seatman, he said this is an outstanding move for the Raiders. Jalen Nailor is a dog. 10 touchdowns over the past 2 seasons, but what you're also getting is an unselfish wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. I personally would put him over Jack Besh, and I would have him competing with Trey Tucker. For the just quickness of this show, we just threw him in here as a wide receiver 3 just so you could see his face up here on this depth chart. But and I'll be real, like I think that he is competing more with Trey Tucker. I would view him more as a wide receiver 2 over Jack Besh, but it's because Nailor can stretch the field. Because he's a willing blocker. He's a really good route runner, can run a bunch of different routes on that tree. So you add somebody like that with a rookie quarterback in Fernando Mendoza, I think it makes a lot of sense for this organization. So what I want y'all to do down below is grade the signing of Jalen Nailor, 3 years, $35 million, $23 million guaranteed. A, B, C, D, or F. My grade is going to be coming up here right after this YouTube ad break. This is a B grade for Las Vegas. It is a good move for the organization. We needed wide receiver depth. I was a big believer that we needed to figure out a way to not only draft a receiver, but also sign one. And the NFL is all about dominoes. The Las Vegas Raiders were interested in Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce got $29 million per year. I am so happy that the Raiders decided to not give Pierce $29 million, and they decided to give Tyler Linderbaum $27 million, which I do think really opened up the door for us to be able to get a receiver like Nailor, who's going to be able to fit in this Klint Kubiak offense because of all the other things that he is willing and able to do. It's a massive, massive need. Now we have 3 receivers that give us at least a little bit more of a chance on the outside, because you didn't want to have to rely on Dante Thornton Jr. You don't want to have to rely on Cedric Jackson. You don't want to have to rely on a lot of those other guys that were on this roster. But now, because the Raiders have the 14th overall pick, you have pick 36. I do believe that the Raiders missing out on Pierce, signing Nailor tells me, watch out for Las Vegas to potentially look for another receiver in that 14, 36, or 67 realm. Now, if this team is really confident in Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers, which I hope that they are, and I hope that they do, use them a lot in 2 tight end personnel, Nailor, Besh, and Trey Tucker is an okay receiving core. You want to see it get a little bit better. But a 3-year, $35 million deal for Jalen Nailor, if my Vikings guys tell me I should be fired up about it, he follows that team like the back of his hand, just like I follow this team like the back of my hand. If you're trying to get something on the back of your booty, get some Chubbies shorts going for you. Promo code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS. And shout out to them for sponsoring today's Raiders Report show. Today's been a great day for Raider Nation. It's been an outstanding day, and I feel like every time I'm wearing my Chubby shorts, I also feel like it's a great day. Whether I'm chilling by the pool, whether I'm on the roof with my wife and my dog, or maybe I'm out on the golf course with the Chat Sports guys. Chubbies is made for all occasions. Workout. You can go to work. You can also just hang out with the boys. Skies out, dies out. And I have met many people that have worked at Chubbies. They've been a part of me, Chat Sports, since 2018. I can remember the days when I was playing Mario Kart with the guys at Chubbies. And the reason why I bring that up is because I want to invest in companies and I want to wear stuff where I really truly believe in them as people. And I know Chubbies is an outstanding group owned by really awesome dudes. And at the end of the day, they're just dudes being dudes, living their dream. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm a dude being a dude, living my dream, talking about the Raiders during NFL free agency. Now, these shorts are not free, but with the 20% off code, it almost is like, hey, I'll tell you this, getting Tyler Linderbaum, that deal feels great. Getting Chubby Shorts is going to feel great too. ChubbyShorts.com/chatsports. If you don't know, they're designed for comfort, built for stretch, and designed to give your thighs the confidence that they deserve. With over 2.6 million customers, Chubby clearly knows how to keep thighs extra happy. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving our listeners 20% off with code ChatSports at ChubbyShorts.com. That's 20% off your order with code ChatSports. Give the VIP treatment to the thighs because they deserve them with Chubbies. Support the Raiders Report and tell them that we sent you. So here are the moves that have happened today for the Raiders and a little bit last night. I'm just going to throw the Taron Johnson trade in there. It happened late last night. First deal the Raiders do, you get Eric Stokes, 3-year, $30 million deal, $20 million guaranteed. You get the number one player that the Raiders are trying to re-sign out of all their free agents. I think if you were to ask 100 Raiders fan who was the number one player you wanted to bring back, I would guess most people would say Eric Stokes. Then, if you were to ask 100 Raiders fans who's the number one player you want the silver and black to sign a free agency, I think most people would say Tyler Linderbaum. You were also able to get him. Now, you did miss on Alec Pierce. That's okay, because I'll say this right now. I will take Jalen Nailor, 3 years, $35 million, over Alec Pierce getting $29 million a year every single day of the week and twice again on Sunday, because we have a lot of team holes that need to be filled. So as it stands right now, what position for the Raiders worries you the most? Essentially what I'm asking you is, where do you want the Raiders to go from here? What position are you looking at next? Because the position that I'm really looking at next is we need to figure out a way to also replace Max Crosby. I'm looking at outside linebacker. I'm looking at a defensive end. I want somebody that's able to go out and get after the quarterback, because an easy way that I want people to look at that Linderbaum signing is you essentially traded Max Crosby away for pick 14, a 2027 first-round pick, and Tyler Linderbaum. That's a trade that every single person does without even hesitating. And again, I know that wasn't the deal, but in my mind, that's how I'm looking at it. We invested in the offensive line. We're making a big investment on offense with Naylor at wide receiver. I like to be able to get Stokes. The next thing I want to be able to see here get done is I would love for the Raiders to go get somebody that can get after the quarterback position. This is where Raiders free agency stands. Also some random NFL news that just happened. Chargers guard Zion Johnson, 3 years. This is a big deal for him. I didn't think he'd get this much. $49.5 million, $32.4 guaranteed. So the 26, 27-year-old goes out and he gets a little bit of a payday, and I think it's a pretty good payday for him. Who? Oh, the Cleveland Browns. Sorry, I didn't mention that. Cleveland Browns. Very, very interesting. So, again, y'all, if you don't follow me on social media, this is the perfect week to do so. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365, literally everywhere. And I'll also say this. We're doing a duck race today. Right now, it's up to over $270. I guarantee y'all this. I think that this duck race is going to get close to $1,000. You want a chance to win $1,000? Pull up here on the Raiders Report. Let's get a little bit wet and wild, because today's been a hell of a day for Klint Kubiak and John Spytek. They're proving to me they're making the proper investments, and that's what I wanted. Show me you know where to invest your money. Put your money where your mouth is, John, and that's exactly what you did. Shout out to the Raiders. So far, I am loving the signings that this team has done.